See Matt Kenseth pushing Jamie McMurray.
Kenseth won the season-opening Daytona 500, backed it up with a win at California the following week. It has now been 30 races since a Ford has gone to victory lane this year.
The other thing these guys are going to have to be careful if somebody runs out of fuel in the middle of this. Man, what a big problem that could create.
Now you can see that. If somebody run out of fuel right there in the middle of that group, it would cause a huge wreck. We've heard, oh, here's a car upside down.
Big-time crash upside down.
It's Ryan Newman.
See Kevin Harvick there, Marcus Ambrose.
Ambrose is there, comes across, Harvick stops, and Newman's car comes to rest upside down on its roof. We were hoping it would not happen, and here with 5 laps to go, indeed it has.
Hell of a job.
I don't know what started that, but you see quite a bit of damage on that car. Flipped over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I was looking out the window, but I could not see. That's so far. That's the furthest point away from us. Just couldn't tell what was going on there.
The safety crews are there immediately. They get in the car and will try to communicate with the driver. Kevin Harvick has pulled his car away. '39 car of Ryan Newman on its nose, on its tail, on its side, flipped over on its roof, and then slid down across the racetrack into the grassy area. 47 cars moved away of Ambrose, as well as a 29 of Harvick.
Yeah, these cars get turned around, like especially at the highest speed part of the track, at the end of the straightaway, and they get turned around and they just lift off the ground. And we could see it tumbling from that point.
Let's show you again what happened here. 5 laps to go at Talladega. Watch the car get turned around.
He and his teammate Tony Stewart got into the wall, but you can see it turns Ryan Newman around. As soon as it does, it's almost like that wing acts as to help to lift the car up. Lands on Kevin Harvick's hood. See Elliott Sadler there involved.
Elliott trying to jam the brakes on to keep from hitting the 39 as it was pirouetting up the track. He's able to miss it. Harvick able to get the car woe down as the 39 just comes rolling down on its roof onto the grass and comes over again another 360 before coming to rest on its top.
As you see him work with Ryan Newman here, these safety crews have been instructed as to what to do in these type situations. Make sure that they still have the driver's safety in mind.
Some of the drivers coming on the pit road there, the 48 is in. Some of these guys that were close on fuel. There's the 09 of Keselowski going by. Carl Edwards in.
The whole thing with Newman there is being complicated by the car being upside down. It's just so hard to get the belts off and try to get the driver out of there with the car sitting upside down. You can see they're being very careful. You got all the safety crews and NASCAR. There's some members of NASCAR down there also.
And these guys train over and over again, the safety crews that NASCAR have, for extricating a driver. The last thing you want to do at this point in time is get in a hurry. You want to take your time and care about the driver as the driver gets and sometimes the driver gets unhooked inside, and you don't want the driver to fall. Those belts are holding him in position.
Yeah, you don't want to unhook those belts too soon as you're upside down. And probably, if Ryan is probably okay, and tell him, hey, turn this car over and then I can get out of here, because with it down like that, it makes it very difficult as a driver to get yourself out of that situation. So hopefully that's the case here, that Ryan is okay. He's telling him, hey, turn this over and we'll get out of here.
Now they have stopped the cars on the backstretch, 3 laps to go, because there will be a tremendous amount of cleanup here. There are the cars lined up on the back straightaway, and there was debris all over the racetrack. 29 car of Harvick has been on and off pit road a couple times trying to get some of the damage beaten out.
It's hard to tell exactly what. Those guys were in the outside lane, and it was Harvick and Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman, obviously teammates there, that got together. shot Tony into the outside wall and sent Ryan down across in front of the 29 car.
And Marcus Ambrose was there too and did a really nice job of staying away from the 39 and the 29.
Yeah, actually, they just pushed the off the speedway Old Spice Chevrolet back to the garage area. Looks like Stewart might have made some contact with the outside wall.
Like probably a situation as they got to the end of the straightaway, they had a big draft going and somebody had to check up, and then that creates a situation of getting run into a little bit too hard and it turns the car.
Again, the wings and the aerodynamics of these cars.
You okay, buddy? Yeah.
Now that was Ryan Newman on the radio. You just heard a moment ago as the crew asked him if you're okay. So obviously still buckled in the car, okay, able to communicate. And that's why NASCAR, as you said, DJ, is turning the car over as opposed to trying to get him out of the car. If he were seriously injured, they would have tried to get him out quickly and get him away. But now they can afford to turn the car over knowing he is strapped in and buckled in and okay.
And you can see as they're turning this car over, it's not the first time they've done this. They have this. They've practiced these things and trying to help. But when that car lands on that top, even though these cases are really strong, it'll push that roof down, and it just makes it difficult to try to get out. And I'm sure that Ryan was communicating that again, and this is what they're doing a fantastic job. And once again, the safety of these race cars take a spill like that, and it's great to hear Ryan Newman's voice.
Backwards, on its nose, on its side, on its top, over 360, down across the racetrack, on its top, onto the grass, and now being gingerly turned back over onto its wheels.
I'm impressed how ginger they were able to do that. I thought they would have to flip the car over and let it land, but they did a good job of safely getting the car turned over and set back down without another kind of a big impact.
Now they typically will talk to the driver, communicate. The paramedic there will talk to the driver, communicate, ask some verbal questions before they will loosen the belts, before they will get in and try to get him out of the car. Now the question is access because of the roof of the car, even with the bars pushed down a little bit and limiting the space that the driver has to be able to get out and then get him out.
This new car has more roof area, more room up there. It's got quite a few inches there over the car that we used to run, so that's a benefit. But it does get he was on that roof a long time, and it landed on its roof, so it probably knocked that thing down.
So they're going to try to cut it. They're going to try to cut access there, and this is for two reasons. Obviously, the limited access and having it bent down, but typically the protocol is you want to be able to get the driver to come straight up out of a car. Medically speaking, that's the protocol. You don't want him bending too much if you've had this kind of tumble, at least initially.
Indeed, that's good news from Tony Gibson. Ryan Newman is all right.
If you just joined our coverage, this is Ryan Newman, whose car somersaulted with 5 laps to go. The crew has radioed Ryan. He has said he is okay in the car. He is still in this car, buckled in, and we have the field stopped on the backstretch here at Talladega under a red flag with just 3 laps remaining.
They've got a hydraulic device out there. They're going to cut the roll bars and cut this roof where they can get some really good access to Ryan. You can see there's NASCAR officials on the scene right there with the safety crews.
Yeah, there's a guy there that looks like he's talking to Ryan Newman as he sits there, just making sure that he's okay and understanding what is taken.
We are being told we can get confirmation from NASCAR next door that they have confirmed with Ryan he is awake and alert, and the reason they are doing this is because of what we just talked about, the limited access. The roof is pushed down and they're having trouble getting to Ryan, so rather than trying to squeeze him out of a narrow opening, they're going to go ahead, the car is already destroyed, so they're going to go ahead and try to pull the roof off so they can pull him out of the car without having any problems with getting him against some of this sharp metal in the narrow areas.
Yeah, I think if they had some injuries they thought that were serious, that they need to get him out quickly, they would be doing a lot quicker job here. But now they're just going to be methodical, knowing that he's okay. They can be very methodical about how they take this roof off and get Ryan out of the car without causing any further injury.
We were so hoping we would escape the big one. This is not a big one in terms of numbers of cars, but in terms of the violence of the rollover by Ryan Newman, the contact. And we'll show you again what happened here to bring out this caution. Watch here. There's the Ryan Newman's car. Tony Stewart there, his teammate.
You can see Tony Stewart was running up on the car in front of him, and instead of hitting, he rolled out of the throttle, and Ryan Newman had a big run. And when he kind of saw what was happening, he had to turn left, and that shot him across in front.
He was actually getting a little bit of a shove from Marcus Ambrose, too.
Yeah.
Almost all the cars were touching going down the backstretch.
Now watch Marcus Ambrose's onboard camera as the 39 car comes across in front of him.
See right here, he gets that. The second hit, that shot him over in front of the 29, and then when he got turned around backwards when the car lifted off. See, that bump there, that turned Tony.
Wow.
You can see the car up in the air down on the inside. Unbelievable.
Lands upside down on the hood of the 29 car of Kevin Harvick. Now watch it as it happened in real time. Now the roof being peeled away, sheet metal peeled back. They've cut some of the support bars. They have an area behind Talladega Speedway where they have cars that they have specifically built to train these guys to do this. There's the last bar being cut. They folded back, and now they should be able to get, and Ryan Newman climbing out. How about that?
Wow. What a great sight that is.
Wow, how safe are these race cars that NASCAR has these teams built now? Got a little mud on him, but otherwise none the worse for wear.
That's good to see.
Yeah, when you got to dust the grass off of you, and that's the worst thing, that's a pretty good day. So unfortunately, he did a great job all day long. Just getting down here to the end of the race and time to go.
Again, here's the accident. 5 laps to go at Talladega. Chain reaction, the 14 gets in the wall, 39 contact with a 29, and suddenly he is airborne and comes to rest right on the hood of the 29 car of Harvick right there. And then across the racetrack, the pirouette and the roll. Well, Elliott Sadler did a nice job to get his car woe down and not just hit that 39 coming up across the racetrack.
Sure did.
We told you at the beginning of the day how difficult it is for the wives to watch their husbands get in these cars and risk it all at 200 miles an hour. This is Ryan Newman's car coming to rest, and there's his wife, Chrissy Newman. She was headed back to the care center immediately to be able to be there when her husband